stop overthinking. It's something I have to tell myself, man. Listen, there are moments when we just overthink everything. One thing we know is the brain hates uncertainty. We're going to talk about it. One thing that I will say, overthinking is a protective mechanism. If we don't act, we don't fail. I think the fear of failure, the fear of making mistakes stops us from taking action. So when we constantly overthink things, we want things right, and we study and research, we will research for hours and hours and hours and still not accomplish anything the whole day. All you did was research, and did not take one action. We got to stop overthinking. And I say we because this is something that I have to learn. As I've been working on this 30-day action to help military veterans transition to civilian life, and I'm like, man, I want to make this perfect. Let me get this right. I want to make sure I'm helping people out here at the same time where it's not going to stress them out. I was just going back and forth and studying and researching. It's like, hey, man, stop, calm down, take a breath. Look at what you know. Look at what you've been through. You've got the answers. Put it into a play. Go ahead and take the action. Get to it. Stop overthinking it. When we keep overthinking, we do not take action. And it also comes with lack of clear mission or structure. You feel like, oh man, I may not have all the answers. And the thing is, you don't always have all the answers. It takes time. We learn from our mistakes. That's what makes us better. When you practice, you're making mistakes while you practice. It's practice. You put the work in. As more time you sit there and research and read and watch videos, time is just running by. We do this a lot to ourselves. And it's really us that's out here that's super talented. We got a real mission ahead of us. There's something that we really want to do. We want the world to know, and we want it right. We want it perfect. You ever seen them individuals that want things just super perfect? And by the time they figure out what they want to do, months have passed by. And the one thing about being in the military, you're given a mission, you're given a chain of command, you're given a standard, you're given a timeline. But here's the thing, when you transition out the military, you don't have that anymore. You have to start creating that stuff for yourself. And there comes that disconnect. You're looking for answers. We got to find the answers inside. You have an identity shift. That uncertainty is uncomfortable. And I get it. But guess what? We got to stop overthinking and go. We got to get on that track, get on that field, get ready to run. Just go. Run, Forrest, run. You know what I mean? And as we run, we'll learn. We may stumble, we may slip, Oh, you forgot to tie your shoe. Yeah, slip and fell on your face. Well, go, let me take a note of that. You know what I mean? I'm going to have to learn, make sure I tie my shoe. Matter of fact, maybe I need to double knot these things. Maybe I need to throw some tape over the strings so they don't go nowhere. See, that's what I'm saying. As we go through life, these are things that we will continue to learn. We look at the decisions and the choices we make when we start to overthink things, we see them as high risk. But we know if you don't get out here and take no risk, guess what? The rewards will always be small, if there's a reward at all. This is how life works. So stop overthinking. Stop overthinking. Take the action. Take it. Take the action. Just get out here and make it happen. Sometimes you may have to find you a mentor. Maybe you need to find someone that's in the field or the thing that you're doing and get some information from them. Well, how did you make this happen? How did you just get from point A to point B? Don't worry about C, D, E, F, G. You need to learn about how to get from point A to point B. Because you start thinking about the other letters, guess what? Now you're overthinking. Now you're not taking action. One step at a time. Find a peer support. You know what I mean? These things are very important. It's vital to what you are doing. So you're out there constantly overthinking and figuring out how I'm going to do this, and I just don't know what I'm going to do. It's just not working, man. Now you're starting to do what? Stress. And when you're stressed, guess what? You're finna go down that rabbit hole of failure. And then you're going to run down that rabbit hole of, man, I shoulda, coulda, woulda. You don't never want to go down shoulda, coulda, woulda. You don't want to go down that lane. So, man, I would just went ahead and did that. Nah, man. And this happens a lot. Let me tell you something that happens a lot. Somebody may have not told you. Or you may have heard this before. But you ever had just this idea? Like you came up with this amazing idea, right? And you want to put it out to the world, right? But you wait and you wait and you wait. And then here come along down the road, somebody else comes up with the same idea, maybe a little different, but the same idea. And they did what? Took the action on it, jumped into it, probably stumbled, made a few mistakes, messed up. But guess what? They got it going. And when they got it going, it pops up and it blows up. And now you come around, you get online, and now you're still in that researching phase. Figuring out, oh, wait a minute. Somebody done made this. A month, 2 months, and I had this idea already. That's messed up. They stole my idea. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. You know, we all connected somehow, some way, right? You was overthinking. They took action. They did not have the fear of failure. And that is what stops a lot of us from making things happen. Also, another thing that stops us from making it happen is our fear of technology, our fear of learning something new, the fear of change. Yeah. Yeah, I'm telling you, when we constantly overthink, we don't take action, we start to do what? That P word, procrastinate. Yeah. And we start coming up with that E word. You know the E word? You don't know what the E word I'm talking about? Excuses. Yeah, ooh, I know. You don't want to talk about that, but we are talking about it. That's why you're here. You read the title? Stop overthinking. Because what? You've been overthinking. That's right. So stop overthinking. Take the action. We gonna stumble. We gonna fall. We gonna bump our head. We gonna make some mistakes. But guess what? That's a part of learning. That's the part of growth. Now, the thing is, when you stumble and fall and make the mistake, guess what? Let's not do that again. Right? So let's stop overthinking. Let's take a deep breath. Suck it all in and take off and take action, right? And as we're going, let's learn, let's develop, let's see what works for us, what doesn't work for us, where we need to be at, where we don't need to be at. And do not let that brain is spinning like the chain on a bike. I get it. The fear of the unknown. The fear of the unknown. You are already giving yourself problems before problems even exist. That's something that we do a lot. Yeah. When we start overthinking, we already start thinking of how things could go wrong. And listen, I get that. And even in life, I'm already kind of, I deal with PTSD, so I'm already on toes. I'm already, figuring out what's going on. And ain't nothing happened yet, right? That's why I always say we. When I talk on here, when we speaking together and we in here having this conversation, you checking out me talking to you, and you sitting there in the comments, putting it in the comments, you hitting that like button and telling me what you're thinking, hitting the subscribe, you know what I mean? We're conversating on distance, right? And I get it, right? You're like, man, I want to be safe. I don't want to, and here's the thing. When it comes to creating something powerful, something meant to be something that could be used, there are going to be times where it's going to be hard. It's going to be frustrating. It may trigger you. And listen, it's going to happen. I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to happen. People going to come up to you, man, bro, how'd you do that? How'd you get that going? How did you make that possible? When people start asking you those things, you are on your way. You are on your way to another level.